Ik ben ongekomen door en ze me waren door stad. Ja. Ik ben geworden door stadnachten in Siebov, wo der Rebbe redt von, wo wir sind inwendig. Ja. Siebov redt der Rebbe von, weil die da sind, mamschichen gedische Shabbos. לשייש מה יכול, על ידי זה נסגל האחדס הפוש את יסבורך, פגוס, כי שייש מה יכול, הם פעילס משתנס. קודם כיכר על התורת גודל. ודרה ברד פין אחדס הפושת, הם פעילס משתנס. שבס, זה אחדס הפושת, in the Wochen is Pillis Nishtanis. So we discussed this yesterday.
In English.
Was?
In English.
In English, the pshat is you have everything from the same source, but it's finishing in total different outcomes. So let me do a ceasefire today. But if you want to figure out where a missile is coming from, so you see it's coming from here, so you can go back and trace the trajectory, it's coming from there. Aber this would only be when it's nicht Pillis Nishtanis. Pillis Nishtanis, one is coming from here, and one is coming from there. So shouldn't that be showing you that they're coming from two different directions? Right. But that's not the truth. The truth is alles came from the Maibish. So you have...
The resource is the same.
The source is the same. The direction of where they go is totally different.
So Shabbos it is.
We're not going to mach of do, maltum kimen to Shabbos. So the Nusen takes this, and the way he explains this is, das to do Likita Aluchas, page 63, I think it was.
Yeah,
63.
Al Yedai is Mashiach Medisha Shabbos.
No, du hast eins, du. Du hast eins. So,
Nicht proud of that.
nicht das. Dort hast du es nicht. Ich bin eingegangen, ich habe mich mit Rabun gehoben. Yeah, page 63. In page 63, just to clarify, du darfst wissen, wo du darfst in Shabbos. So, du darfst wissen, wo du darfst in Shabbos. Wo darfst mit in Shabbos? Shabbos is Amina, Amos. Shabbos is Haidoya, Amos. Wir müssen reden von dem Minion, als der Shabbos ist der einzigste Tag, was man gemacht, wo es sagen Nishmas, wo es einer von der größten Schwachen war, was zu tun. Aber was meint das Pillis Nishtanis? So sucht so. Also, wir sehr beginnen, es ist Gabris, Adoma Malaleh, ki kol Thurs, weil Yisirem amach Mazerigi Hashniyim, Sha'ayim Misnagma a Yisoides B'mezik Shuva. The concept is the fact that as vier Yisoides, the world is settled in the Ay Shriach Ufamayim. From that combination, Hasti, Vusikim Taros, Adoimim Tzamaya Chaim Medaben, which is again 4, which this is also which takes place in this world. But development the whole do first. So you have Atzilus, Bria, Yitzir and Asir. So Bapashtas, these things, all of them look like they're accomplishing different things. So it looks like it's geschickt von an anderer Platz. It looks like it's originating from a total different source. It's the kick do azuk do achbesh tauschem lamata. This is on Samach Daled. Yeah, bottom b'sheniyim nefluah. B'shtauschem lamata, the Yisoidus are totally different. So YEMEI is coming from the same Milkar. Sie kommt von derselben Platz. Nor wir dann, ki Yisoidus Mashinim, moed zeh me zeh. Zeh Aish ve zeh Maim. Zeh Riech ve zeh Ofer. Zeh Cham ve zeh Yush. Yeah. Fire and water is not the same. So Bapashta Zaytos, that they're going in different directions, so they're going in different directions without expecting it. You would assume they're coming from different directions. Yeah? Remuses Mans besprechen auf a Platz als Paroi beätzen hat gesagt, Mi Hashem. Ashashim Bekoiloi. What question is that? That I'm gewissen also viel Oises am Mavsam. Paro just questioned, nicht the Pilis Nishtamas is coming from Elikim, but they're all coming from Ardisa Apushet, Mi Hashem. Mi Hashem. So Hashem is Moira of Ardis. Ardis is Ardis Apushet. Alles kommt from the Eibishter, and the Eibishter is one. Elikim shows everything that's happening in this world is happening through Hashem. But you see different things happening. So Paro had gesagt, Elikim, yes, Hashem is a different thing. That he didn't want to willingly submit to that. Aber wie es mas bedu, bekolschen kol habriim nisavi mehem shini mehem la'ay misper. So bepashtus is a shini. So this we discussed yesterday. If you take Viramnusna's masber, if you take, I have this, I'm sorry about my drawing. If everything is coming out of one source, alle vier Yesodis, alle vier Olamas, alle vier categories, the closer up you get over here, the closer all of the four are. The further down you go, the more separated it is. So the
looks like more mishtanes, the further away you get from the Aglos Apusha.
It's more mishtanes. Aber was Bnusen geht Ansbezahn, the kilom tzrichem lehismazik b'mezik shova. Meaning, the fact that the Rebbeinu Shalom had gemacht, Aish, Mayim, Riach, and Ofer, doesn't necessarily mean that they have to fight each other. Mismazik Shuv Pshat is they can get along too.
If you actually hold it down together in the bottom, you can unify them. If you hold it down in the bottom, Kadosh Baruch Hu sends it down, and you hold it down in the bottom, you actually act like a transformer where you actually combine them all together. You unify them together, then they come back to the same tachlis from where they came. Now, but if you are spread out and you actually don't combine them together, you don't hold them together, then it's not going. Then it becomes very painful because they all go in a different direction.
So, let's take Lemushru.
Isn't this what he says?
What he's saying over here is, the further down you get, the more separated they are. Oh, but the fact that the Rebbeinu Shalom had gemacht vier Yesodis don't mean they have to fight. They could still be mismazik.
Not only
there could be a harmony.
They don't have to.
Not
they
only
can still.
not only,
no, they can synchronize.
They can synchronize if you actually hold them together. If you combine them back together.
If you have the right. If you have the
right union.
If you take the Pilis Nishtana, so you say the Rebbeinu Shalom is good to me, but what was Mitchell Machmedem? So it's Spencer, wie the Chabs to Sun. Ob the Chabs to Sun, Badam Matzev, that ich Mitchell sich mit dem, so then you're grabbing it by the tip end of the Pilis Nishtanas, it's away from Ardis Hayes Buddha. If you forget about the logistics that are causing the problem, and you're sich mekashe, the Rebbeinu Shalom is doing it, then it's not that you're getting them all together, you're up there, they're all close. Because it's all of these things. So if you look over here,
meaning through what? Through a minna?
Depending if do you see the steak, or do you when
so a minna.
to do the when a dog when you bang it with a stick, it doesn't go for the hand, it goes for the stick.
Right.
But the hit comes from the hand. Ze kennen dan about Purzach. Ze doet twee wegen zo te doen. Oder weil die kicks darauf, you hold on to each of the strings, whatever, from this matter, from the Aisha, the Riach, the Damayim, the Ufer, but you know it's coming from above and you look directly above. Or you look at it down in the bottom, but you see that it's not what I'm seeing actually, the way I look at it from my dimension. From my perspective, what I'm coming, but I see that it's much bigger. Kadosh Baruch Hu is not only sending me this; it's a lot bigger than I can see it right now. I'm perceiving it only from one side. Ich kann es noch sehen von Asach Gresser, and ich weiß Asach Gresser. Then you combine them, then you get connected. You connect them back again. Now you're directly connected with the body. So that's the question. What meint zu sagen? Meint zu sagen? nur dat die kiekst darauf, dan moet brengt de gescham de dan het zo is. Ze kijkt ons wil zoeken als die dan arbeid is, ze alle samen te brengen terug in.
So how do you explain samenbrengen?
By the fact that you know that HaKadosh Baruch Hu not only created the evil, not only created the accident that I'm facing right now, He created a much bigger and wider world, and there's a lot of good surrounding it.
So in other words,
Then I'm combining it. Yes, the question is, but how? Wo zeist du dann in
die guys do?
Als de mens richt zich neemt er een water. In de Thurs zijn we ook de zaak als Thomas markieren als ja, als meer Shabbat meer als men neemt er kennen meer. Das heißt, der Mensch richt sich nicht nur the direction wie ich kick, es ist der Nukem toast sich auch.
Go back to 63. Kick around, nimmt sich ikke Lulis Apeles verstandes. Kick wie sucht du, Meile, sucht so. Kol Apeles verstandes kann, Meile, mir was haben. Shadum im Schuld von Malalev, der Heine beschaß zu der Schule. Aus ein Meire es war seiner Dibber beschleim, es war ein Nimschach Jiddische Shabbos am Meierfall. War aus ein Nechlulem Peles mich an.
Immer Meile. Ich wohne auch in Meile.
Versucht der Pshat ist, wie viel der Zure geht bringen, depends, do you see the Zure, or you sich mekashe mit einer Beine Schleule Meier. Because the einzige Sache der Beine Schleule made Pilis Nishtanas is nicht kein Hechrich that the Pilis Nishtanas should cause you a trouble. Okay? Sie nicht kashim Hechrich that they should cause you trouble. You can have Pilis Nishtanas in the synchronizer. You go back to page 61.
So, Arige, can you take a second to wo it says Alvais from Shich the Shabbos,
No.
Dort nehmen wir Hempstead in the YEMEI Chol, auch
So the Maya Chol Zug der Rebbe is what? Pilis Nishtanas. Shabbos is Achdes Apush. So the Rebbe Zug du, als morgen Nacht, darfst die nehmen Achdes Apush and just cover all Pilis Nishtanas and everything will change. But what's meint is? So guck da rein du in 61. Ki kolle Yesirem Chazeshulam, Heim beginnes Machleukes. Yesirem is Machleukes. What's Machleukes? Kinem Shuchem Machleukes, the Pilis Nishtanas, instead of complementing one another, are fighting one with another. Okay? The Heim Kenig das Udam.
Obviously, because if he would be...
Schudem reutze schie kachke zäune, schie snagleuke seide, bei einem dem Kenig, der bechalken will, und snagel schleuke zäune. So the Pilis Nishtanas is what's giving him his pain. Where's the pain coming from? I have my roots and everything's going the opposite way.
Yeah.
Literally, by the way. Wow. Yeah.
But Abnusen talks about literally too.
Not literally too.
The last one to scare away is Abnusen. Abnusen had got Shabusim that he didn't have what to eat. B'chol ma shashini gudel b'yoyse keneged ritzaynai, yisirim gedoylem b'yoyse chazeshulem. But the Pilis Nishtanas is depending on him. V'kol zeh nemshech mach me shepagam b'bechina hanal. Shepugam b'china hanal. Shlo histadel lehamshech simcha v'hanaycha shel Shabbos l'mayachol. V'vusi de simcha.
Welche beginnen?
What's that?
Beginnen aan welke beginnen?
Kol zeh nemshech mach me shepagam b'china hanal. Zuk der vus. Shlo histadel lehamshech simcha v'hanaycha shel Shabbos l'mayachol. So Simcha for Shabbos is Achdes Apushet. Achdes Apushet darf man anschleppen dort. Sie do a Platz, die Rebnusen sucht. Und die Woche, die gesagt hat, I hope I've quoted the pussy correctly. A Yanke Wiener gesucht für Eisef, wo sie hat gehalten, als Eisef is on the right track, or sie hat gehalten, he's on the right track, or der Yitzchak gehalten als Eisef. Yitzchak gehalten als Eisef. Or that you have to deal with him, Keili is on the right track, depending upon welche Cipher die kiekst daran. I mean, basically, sie sich gewinnt Zeit befift, sie sich, hat ihm gesucht, Zeit, behaibeli Zeit, wo wir allein. Yitzchak hat dich gesucht, weil das ist doch, even though it's talking to Isaac, but this is Yitzchak's instruction. Go out in the field, hunt for something, and bring it back into my house. So Yitzchak hat nicht gesucht, man kann nicht rausgehen. He didn't say you shouldn't go out. He said you have to go out, and you have to go in the Wochen and the Pilis Nishtanas, and you have to do the Hishtadler, and you have to go through all of that. But while you're doing it, you can think you're doing it because of the Pilis Nishtanas, or you can realize that the Pilis Nishtanas itself is nothing. It is Achdus HaPushit that wants me now to be Fanemah with Pilis Nishtanas. So if you do that, it's do. The reason for this, the Pilis Nishtanas are working against him.
So basically, what you're saying is that the Pilis Nishtanas is only smoke, and don't pay attention
I'm
to
saying
the
not
smoke.
Pilis Nishtanas. Pilis Nishtanas is if I have to sell something, I have to have a customer. I don't have a customer,
But you should
but
know
I
that
can
it's
find
only
it.
smoke.
I can find the customer easy. I can find the customer because I can find the guy who pays. I can find a guy who doesn't pay.
If you have a customer.
You have a customer that doesn't pay. Depending how you go looking for the customer. If you're looking the Pilis understands, you still have to look for a customer. But if you're looking for the customer because the Pilis Nishtanas is the Zach, then you're one person looking for a customer. And then it's nicht Mekisha Bach Disa Yizburach. Bach the Saposhet. If it's not Mekisha Bach the Saposhet, he's left on his own. If he's going and he's doing the Pilis Nishtanas B'may Achol, the Rebbe Nussen sagt nicht, you shouldn't do it. But you're doing it with a cashier in Achdus HaPushit. It's a whole different game. Your chances are the Achdus HaPushit shouldn't work against you. Kijk, was sagt, du so was sagt du. Sagt metoch Pilis nicht kimi, ki kefi, asai des shnim sich. Achayes me Achdus HaPushit. L'chol Pilis Mishtanas Rush, Hakel Kesaider, kimi tola yebutzet, kol toiv. The Rebbeinu Shloim not only can make Achdus, can make Pilis Nishtanas, he can synchronize them. And Pshat is was, you take the world, that's the Zoy. The Rebbeinu Shloim made Shemayim. What Shemayim? Ay Shemayim. Pilis Nishtanas. To the furthest extent. But when will is lo yebutzer mimeni, that Pilis Nishtanas can also work together. So wo zog mer ins?
Like you must with a pot in the water.
Aber dem zog mer ins äußere Schulen beim Räumer.
Yes.
I do is Pilis Nishtanas. Dort is auch Pilis Nishtanas. But how do you do that? Let's keep what says you do. Behi barach mis bura bura oilum ele toive. Shai nimshech.
Wie sie kommt aber Pilis Nishtanas? Oiven.
Oiven is auch.
Is auch du Pilis Nishtanas.
Schmaim nicht Oiven. Für wie die Stein.
Vibration.
Schmaim is alles noch als in der Oilum as here. You got 4 more worlds to tell Elon Musk. 4 more worlds to go before he gets out of the Oilum Atzilis. And who knows how much battery he's going to have then.
I'll build superchargers on the way.
The Pilis Nishtanas is Pshat, ist äußere Schule mit dem Räumer, aber es ist auch du Pilis Nishtanas.
Ich verstehe dich sehr gut. Ich habe dich gefragt, Hershel, wieso ich gehe. Sie, Pshat ist...
Ich meine, dass es klar werden würde.
Ja, weil ich verstehe nur, wir sind mit dir jetzt, kickt aus, also darf noch alles, darf sie zusammenbringen.
Wieso?
Bei dem Wissen, also oben sind sie eins, kann das zusammenbringen.
Ah, das so. Kijk wat ze doen.
Get them the strength.
Dus, ich frage geht, ich habe auch nicht geämpft, aber ich meine, sind sie mal lernen, dem Stückchen verdämpft werden. Het immer so. Sie nimmt sich ein Chais, man acht das Pusche, die Cholpille zu stehen, das Cholpille, Keruike Seide. Seide, Latoive. So, der Ätzem acht das Haposhet schafft, als Beilles nicht stehen, es kann auch nicht gehen zusammen.
Ja.
It doesn't necessarily have to be.
Obviously, also oben ist es zusammen, kann es
So, als sie kein Oven sein zusammen, kann du auch sein. So, sie mir nicht alle Musana, der Mocher hat gesucht. Ich get the MOHARAN, you were supposed to give me more money, and the LIKUTEY side you're supposed to give me more produce. So you can't agree to say hello. Yeah? רק מחמא שהקל נברא בשביל הבחיר של אדם, שכפי המנוסה השליימה כפי מעשיו, כך ממשיך החייס, מאחדס הבושת לכל פרס משתנס לטוב וחז ושולם להפך. או להפך חז ושולם. Das wendet sich in der Mensch. Der Beine schleudert mit gemachte Pilles nicht anders. In der Achdiso hat gemacht alle Pilles nicht anders. Even those Sezetos.
Das ist nur eine Begierde.
Le Begierde beschaut, dass wendet sich in der Mensch. Wie viel gleibt in der Pilles nicht anders? Wie viel gleibt in der Pilles nicht anders?
Keine Zahl
Ich suchte du so. Gefi Maße. Kein ממשיך החייס מאחדס הבושת. לכל פילה משתנס, לטוב ולהפך חס ושולם.
Massive oder ein Minute?
שכבי המנוסה השליימה, just back up 3 words. Die sind reingekommen mitten in the sentence. כפי המנוסה השליימה, ich כפי מעשה. How do you know that you trust the voice was giving you panusa? Die gang ist nicht. Weil ob die darfst du mit panusa, darfst du nehmen, wo sie kommt dahinter. Ob geht panusa, lässt sich gammern, kann ich an, die darf gammern zu panusa.
They don't go together.
You can't say he's doing it, but I gotta take
Ich
it.
bin gefragt, die Gemüse nicht das. Die haben ihn gefragt, wieso Maya so oder wer ist.
Ja.
Wo sagt er?
Ja, aber wie ich hier, wakisch mich rach und schreit.
Ja, wie ist auf Kochen, Maya so wie Maya so wie ist. Ja, wie ist wie
Beminne.
En nog dan zal er beten naar mij bestaan. En bij mij kijkt de grootste, dus eigenlijk van de woorden. Nee. Dus nog eigenlijk van 10. Die 10 uur was richtig. En nog dan kan je...
Hij zoekt dat stap op mijn min.
Van de heilig als er niet gaan, dan deze...
Ja.
Deze de gemoede.
Ja. So Mamaila zoekt hij doe. De pilles verstanden existiert. You gotta do what you gotta do. But wo sie geht bringen, sie ist geheim in der Wendig. Shikifia manusa schleime, die Wort hat gefällt fried. Ikifi maße, auf kein Mamschich achais macht, das Apusch doch ob das Bestanes, le Teufel kann sich schon lehepe. Sie nicht kann hechrig, because there are pillars in Stanes, that it's going to give him a headache, or it's going to be hard on him. That's...
Ich kann mir da so noch auf etwas. Statt mit Standes, right?
Ja.
Die suchst der Dreibisch beschafft auch mit andere Sachen. Mit Standes man kijkt aus dem Bescheid, als der Dreibisch beschafft Agnes Apushet, und sie wird mit Standes.
Agnes Apushet ist der Eibischte. Agnes Apushet ist der Eibischte.
So Feuer und Wasser, alles... Alles kennt ihn gar nicht.
61.
Mishtanos wird noch Mishtanos based on me.
Okay. Was?
So Mishtanos wird noch Mishtanos based on me.
Mishtanos ist Pschatte, der Beunischler hat gemacht Fire und Wasser.
And it's the same thing.
And it's the same creator.
They have different gravities.
And
They
the
go in different
question
directions.
is, the ganze brief is, the market's against you or with you? Did you make the market? No, the market that I gemacht on Wall Street.
Right.
The other question is it on your side
Where's
or
the
is it
trend
against you?
towards you?
Was?
Where's the trend going? Towards you or to...
So this is wie ich verstehe du, das kannst du suchen du anders, sucht es, wie aber du aufgemischt.
Shikifia menusa schleimig für Nase.
Can we go Mishtanos instead of going bad? Can we go get over?
Also sucht du. Du wird sich
How you accept it.
That's what we need to work.
According to your kailim, how you're...
The way we understand it is...
the way we soll die kickst the son. Ob die verstehst that what's going against you is weil der Beunisch sagt all keine Kritik an der Shabbos. Schau schwieße wenn ich schau der Shabbos, all die Mamschiche Kedische Shabbos lochol. Shabbos is there's nothing to do.
Da zijn is gale Agnes Apushet mit der Kapelles Mishtanos.
In der Woche.
Es kommt also so, wenn der Feuer arbeitet nicht, und der Wasser arbeitet nicht,
That's not up to you.
No,
That's not up to you.
Wenn der Feuer arbeitet bei Eizen nicht, es geht. Wenn der Wasser arbeitet nicht, es geht. Verwus? Aber damit hat er nicht kein Extrem, Ich mach nur also a second. Wenn man sagt, nicht kein extreme guide, then she can different direction. It's nicht the pillis Mishtanas is on the least amount of energy. Then let's get the straight energy zusammen, dann kommen sie rüber so wie ein Pol. Kommen sie rüber zusammen. Jetzt, der Regen, aber wenn arbeitet sehr stark mitten in der Woche, geht in seine direction, geschickt auf East, geschickt auf West, und der andere hat geschickt auf North and South. So they all go in a different direction. So was dann Arbeit? Dann Arbeit ist, dadurch die bringst dann an der Shabbos mitten in der Woche. Die Pshat ist, dass die bringst die Energy, was sich stellt alles rüber. Low voltage, und die bringst es zusammen, dann bist du ja Machayel. Und dann hast du das Shabbos eine ganze Woche. Dann ist es zusammen, kannst du dann besimchen. Hast du nicht ganz zu das.
I'm not saying that die suchst du nicht stemmes.
Oh.
Ich weiß nicht, du suchst Rebnus.
Also ich kiek aus, der sucht
Ich verstehe, Rebnus sucht, Pilles haben Stanes ist was?
Pilles haben Stanes ist Ruhe.
Pilles haben Stanes ist Eich, Riech, Maim,
Ja, sie gehen in eine andere direction.
One second, and that's not up, no, that's not up to us.
No.
So, Pilles haben Stanes ist Schatte, der Beine schleulen will, ihr soll sitzen in der Heime lernen, und du schickt mich und ich darf gerne Market daran. So, Pilles nicht Stanes. Okay, jetzt.
Die mit deiner Energy kannst du controllen.
Das was?
Die kannst du machen, kannst du neutralisieren.
No, ich sehe das.
Das ist, was er sagt.
Ich sehe nicht, was er sagt.
Saying to connect.
If you connect, if you come with Shabbos energy,
saying to connect the pulas and mishtanas to Achtas HaPoshim.
And what's going to happen then?
To make it Achtas HaPoshim. Stay pulas.
Channel it back up.
Channel it back.
And what's going to happen then?
Channel, return it to the
And what's going to happen then?
how do you return it back to the Rebbeinu? When you are combining them, how do you combine them?
Not combine.
That's not your job to combine it. Return it.
Combining. The place
Channel
of combination of Eshu of Mayim Off is only in the Achtas HaPoshim. In the Pulas Mishtanas, they're different. There's Eish, there's Ruach, there's Mayim, there's Off. What we're doing is that the one is Mizgaber on the other. And when they're fighting each other, that's the Machloikis that's making the ribui. That's what he said in page 63.
The more they dispute, the more pain they cause. Correct? And this is what causes the pain.
That means when they stay just the pulas and mishtanas, they can live with each other even though they're opposites. Eish and Mayim are two
What
opposites.
does that mean?
They can live in peace.
Interpreted. What does it mean that they go?
That as long as there's not too much Eish. If there's not too much Eish,
they will not act extreme. They will not.
Nothing will go out of its bounds.
Nothing will go.
You
And Hershel said a pot of water, right? They get along. A pot of water with a fire on it.
Right? It becomes multiple shinui. That means the pulas nishtanas itself is nishtana. When that's nishtana, now it went out of its boundary. Now one is being mizgab on the other. That's the machlokes. So what's the eitzah? The eitzah is to go back to the source. Where is the source? The Achtas HaPoshim. What is the Achtas HaPoshim? That's Shabbos Kodesh. And I take and I draw in. Shabbos Kodesh has this element of simcha and shvisa and neicha that's able to calm these shinuyim rabbim that happened, that made out of the. So it neutralizes. It never brings it together. It still says stays mine, stays
Obviously,
but they're working for me, not against me.
Exactly. They have.
And how did they get to? They said Zuk do it in page 61.
When this balance of Eish Ruach Mayim Offer, then it's after Zaposhin in the Pulas
Because there's balance.
Because even though there's Pulas, problem is there's no balance. What brings back the balance? Shabbos brings back the balance. Shabbos calms down whatever one overpowered.
That they can exist in one device.
Not because they can exist. Shabbos is Shvisa. What is Shvisa? It relaxes. It calms down. Shvisa Neicha. It brings down whatever ribui of shinuyim there were from the Pulas Mishtanas. Now the Rebbe is telling, the Rebbe is saying that the Isurim that we have, which the Rebbe talks about in the Torah, all comes from this fight of the non-balance of the Eish Ruach Mayim. The Rebbe brings it in a few times.
But the way I understand how you interpret it, that they stay separated. They're not staying separated. They somehow start operating from one device, which is the human being.
No.
He brings them together.
No. The human being is made of components of Eish Ruach Mayim.
Right.
When one of the components goes out of its boundary, there is no balance. When they're balanced, even though there are 4 different components that are opposites, they coexist as one. But they're separate.
If your Eish is too high, you get fever. You become sick.
A healthy cell and a cell was sterblich. They're both cells. The only thing, this works in
the body has heat and moisture together.
In the body, obviously,
too much,
they exist together in the body.
Exactly.
And work for each other.
But there are 4 different meanings.
When they're balanced, they work for each other.
There are 4 different meanings that are coexisting. It's all 4 different meanings.
If was macht the chilik to the mensch, the Pilis and Shtanas are working against or for, this depends on him. Lot zane minne. They zane minne and zane maßen. Ja, das stimmt.
Yes.
Is a favor. Well, that's balanced there is.
Says the Pilis Shtanas is a reality of this world. He set up the system this way. How do you perceive it? How do you receive it?
So how am I mamshech this? What's the tool? What do I do? I have no balance. I want to be balanced in my balance.
2 things.
I want everything to be balanced.
A
minute.
I want
to understand practically. How do I earnestly do this for real? I want to do this. I want balance. I have no balance. I'm extreme. Help me.
I thought that was the only one.
I'm a sicko. Help me. I came for help. I came for therapy.
They had a recording of Shimon Shapira on Piram. Wir schreien dort in der Bundesche Leute, und war doppelt Besuch, kann alte Menschen aufnehmen. Stimmt, der Absche rein. Das hier wie rein dort, ne, schreit.
So you didn't really think the Rebbe was going to let you hang?
No, I know for sure.
The Rebbe was not going to let you hang. He never opens up a wound and tell you, go salt it.
Come on.
Ah, so kick do in 64. Reb Nussen is Masber. Alkain, you have page 64?
Yes.
Alkain, or I'd say, so I have to take now things that are going against my will, which I can't change. There's Pilis and Shtanas. And I have to go and believe that the Rebbeinu Shloim is doing everything Achdis HaPoshet, and that's the only way out. How do you get to believe that? Alkain, I'd say, he did a chanal. Lahar glatzmai betoide v'hoidu el Hashem Yisburah. She beginnes shashi olam haber. Lohoidu es lahal el Hashem Yisburah al kol ha-chasudem v'naflu she'usimuni ad hainu. V'hoitzia yemilet nafshi mekama tzuras etluas begifa v'nefesh v'mumman. So how do you get, v'zoi machir?
Thanking and praising.
Go back. Stop looking forward. How do I get rid of this problem? Go back and look. Was ist geschehen das letzte Mal? Was ist geschehen das letzte Mal?
Instead of telling Nekudish Baruch how big your problem is, tell
so the Hals jetzt, bei Shidduch von der 6. Kind.
How many times he saved you in the past? You're here now. That means Hashem saved us a gazillion times before.
Go back. The Mensch ist geherig zerriedert. But they kind is showing older than the ones who were before, and the ratio of telephone calls and Gitte Shidduchim that were read are totally off. Zuk the guy zurück. The Eitzit those kennen herubringen, ach die soll ja pushen. Malet Nafshi mekam zu, es wird los begeben, wenn Nefesh übermommen. Check. Willst du reden grob gerät? Check the Rebbeinu Shloim's track record. He got a good track record. The only problem is that man gesagt einmal Aid that Chastem, also der tut es so gemischt, als seine Tochter soll Kalle werden. Hat sich gemischt, dass genommen und saß. So hat getracht, Chotschik damals, that when she becomes a Kalle, at least for a week, geht bleiben danke dem Eibischen. What do you know? The Shidduch hat mir geschlossen, 2 Seige bei Nacht. 4 o'clock in the morning, auf dem Weg zurück, ist schon gewesen busy. How do you know we're going to have a hall before Pesach? And back in the same place he was before. This was Reb Nussen is man, but that right after the Yeshia, the Samach Mem doesn't want you to have Chaz Shulam this year. But he can, if you got it, he wants you to forget about it because you're facing now a much bigger problem than before. Well, why didn't you tell me that yesterday? Yesterday I wasn't ruhig. At least I don't have a problem with that for Mazal. I'm just using this for my Shulam. Zuk de Wusse da Heize mit dem. Where were we up to? K'moy Shamar Shabbos Yom Tov Nishmas. Ili fini mule shira kayam. I know you must speak from Lord as well. Achas meile alfa lufen beriver the Thurs. She sees some of seine money. We gaan nam bechal yam shule spummen. Noy de lechol nesechu. So the way the eitze to be able to use this to bring you closer to Hashem and therefore Geist alleviating the matzah is geizig zu was gewesen. Ki alkolu dem shboilam bevade kvarovri kam zu es venetzel man. Oi schnitz mit kam zu es shuru shboil khair be in it's man mit kur loibe. Du gibt da rab nus mit ana knach. Which is mit arbeiten da. Not only
I'm thanking for the things that happened to me.
The things that didn't happen to me.
And you learned from someone else's mistake. So you saw someone else's accident and you learned.
It didn't happen to you.
It didn't even happen. I wasn't even in the Tzura.
When a person has a problem, one of the problems that he has, why dafka me, not someone else? Now you should
right. So how many tzuras do you see by other people? Hashem saved you from that tzura. You didn't have to deal with that tzura.
So the way Stamazoi when a Mensch is in a tzura, the Eibisch is a lupiten. Wie sucht du früher sucht we say die kol mashuvar aludem bevade kavun so the toive kalaska, but udam normally will. Everybody always has. What's the biggest problem in life? The one I have now. And there's always going to be one. It's the days to the ends. Oh, but wie soll ich kommen? Am Kim tun sie heute durch. Weil viele Geschichte da bei Jesus hat geskippt ab Lines.
Nur schon über sein.
The Bucher buni mit Kalam und uns zu Russe. A viele Geschichte. What? Auch kein Zirich mal heute ist halal. Was Shem ist gut. Aber schon mal call that. The Ikri la heute ist alles gut. Hal Ikra Geise das soll war nicht schiss. Jetzt geht es um etwas anderes. Bis jetzt you're still busy with your reactions die gemacht. And that's enough. That's good. If that's good, it should take you out of your matzah. Aber du sie nicht der Eker. Der Eker, wo der Idav sagen, als der Hifle Chaz der YEMEI, beheb die Luni, men a Toim, ve Bucher buni mikalawama, ben Usno nesta Rusa. A viele kish yedai pechisi soi gri soi, afa pikan chesed nifle shlois anigo. בכל אחד מישראל יש נקידת טויבס ארבע, כמו שאומר על פוסק הזמן לקה ביועדי. בכל זה צורך להחס עצמי, ולית נשבח ודוע בכל יום להשם יסבורה, ושמחה על זה. בפרט באי שואב רוחה זה שולם איזה צורה ויסירו לחמון לצפיים. שאז די כיסק כל החסודנה וטויבס שוס השם אמר עתיינו, וגם בתוך הצורה עצמי, which is another layer, Kids them in the Tzura line. The Tzura line could also be worse. The fact that you have a flat tire, but you have a AA. So you don't have to get out of the car. AA will come eventually.
Right. Tzarchova within the Tzura.
Tzarchova in the Tzura. Because last month you thought you're not going to send in this year the AAA. So line first. How do you know?
How do you know?
What?
Yeah.
חבוך יעתה מולקה. Ja, בתוך הצורה עצמו, בוודא, שיש בו כמה חובס.
Normal bist du, aber macht schon Mensch kein Bus, jeden Tag noch da, wenn man checkt, schon ist gewollt. Und sind aufgewachsen. Alle Seiten sind nicht angecheckt, da mit der Schmatte.
Manche sagen, lass mal zurück ein Eimer nicht tun, wir gehen tun, wenn ich der Rebbe stelle. Aber in Sivu, Al Yadai says Shemamshich Kedish Shabbos Lais Me'achol. Now we're talking. What says Mamshech Kedish Shabbos? Ms. Mamshech. The was?
With her dog.
Yeah. Al Yadai says Nizgala Agdus HaPushit. Kim Shai Shemayachol and Penis Ishtanas. So the first thing is that this is the way the creation was made. שבכל יום נברא פלא משנה. וזה כנגד שייכל הנישי, להובן זה בשייכל הנישי, שפעילס משתנס המשוך מאחד הפושע שסבורך ויזלה, כי בשייכל הנישי אפשר להובן זה. You can't understand. Der Rebbe Shloim will, ich soll das tun, ja? Ja, wie hat gesagt? Der Rebbe Shloim will, du suchst, man soll nehmen Matzes, und du hast kein Geld. What's going on there? Sucht der Blusen, what?
Was beter denn der Beschäfer, man kann sein Teure, was geht ihm das nicht? Das ist vieles Verstandes.
Ja. Sucht aber es nicht, du kann Ämpfer auf dem. Beschaß der Zure, morgen kann sein, dass er sehen, wie geht sie gewesen der Zure. But when is in the Tzura is not do Shabbos. So the Rebbe, stop trying to figure it out. Like Alidai Shabbos, when you suche Schnussnes as Shabbos. Matune Gedoyle, Matune Teuvish, Yeshli Baizu Shabbos Shema. Alidai Zen is Gala Achdes Apushet. Ki Shabbos Moira la Minas Ayichet. Shuni Mamine, Shekola Poilis Mishtanan Mshuchem Echad Apushet Yizburach. Chabura Kilam B'Shashma, B'Shuvas B'Shabbos. Nimmt sie, Schalidai Shabbos, Nisgala, Achdes Apushet ist Bura. Nisgala sagt, Achdes Apushet, sehr beginne Yekura Moed, Afile Etzla ist Bura, kann man schon sehen. Du gehst daran, der Rebbe, wenn sie verstehen, Maßbesan, wo es kein sein, als du sie Pschat von der ganzen Neuse, was ich weiß doch nicht, was sie Pschat. Der beim Rebbeine Schleunum ist Pilles nicht Tannes. Wenn ein Mensch macht, von Pilles nicht Tannes, mamschich in dem Achdisoi, zu der Eibischte. Du sie beim Eibischen sagen, Chushev, in der nächsten Stückel, habe ich mir umgekommen zu dem, nächste Woche, der Rebbe Masber, als viele, einer, was hat, beschleimes hat immer wie Rebläse, der Maße für Rebläse, a Gudel, Betaner, Achnui, hat der Eibischte gesucht, ob ich kann, Juchat war Rabben noch gegraben, Bussi Pschat an Juchat war Rabben noch gegraben, aber der Rabben kommt zusammen und sagt, diese Teure ist mehr wie alle anderen. Mit du sie Pschat, die Pschat, Bussi Pschat an das Mamschach,
also haben sich gekannt zusammenkommen auf eins.
Du sie Pschat, Juchat war Rabben, Haloche Kramwai, weil sie da ist Mishtanes. Da ist Mishtanes, kommt sich zusammen, a diese der Haloche, in des beim Eibischen Chesha. Aber zurückkommen zu den Kinder, du, was kommt aus du? Als man darf Mamschach sein, Shabbos in der Woche. An ich Chase Schule kommt a Woche, wo sie wachen dich. A wochendige Woche.
So.
Weißt du, dass man sucht, dass auf Jiddisch Rebnus hat es nicht gesucht, ich habe es nicht gesehen in der Welt. But he alludes to it, he just does. A wochendige Woche teug nicht. Wieso kommt der Shabbos? Wieso immer Mamschach Shabbos in der Woche? Als Shabbos kommt man versteht, that everything is in der Beine Schleune. Nothing is going on here, nobody's doing nothing. It's just a play. But a person doesn't feel it. The way wieso feels this is, he goes back and he remembers the alles that the Rebbeinu Shalom did with him. That will bring him, the Hoidur Geite him bringen, that he should be able to feel that Pilles Nishtanes, fine. Aber es ist doch auch diese Pushet. This bringt around the Simche for Shabbos in the Woche, which makes the Pilles Nishtanes, so noch halt, the key noch halt Zaki. But instead of chasing me, it's tugging my plow. This is wie ich verstehen. Now, far my guy weg. I just would like to share one piece, a Blitz von der Blusen, that weiß nicht, I have to find this over here. Wie hat von der Minion, von zu verstehen, wo ist Mekashe, die zwei Sachen. Mekashe, die Indian, where he says that in the Gashmis, die Gezure, darf sich ein Mensch treffen, sein Yeshir. And besides them, darf treffen, hat der Eibestettung gemacht für Ayid. In der Bibauta sehr ist Ayid, hat noch Hals, Hakoyach etwas zu tun. Ich sehe das nicht. I know, was darf sein, du. Hat von der Minion, mit der Rebbeinu Shalom sucht, mit der Gemurre sucht, as the Rebbeinu Shalom said, that even though a Yid did nicht mehr Mitzvahs, also wie ein Mensch, also wie ein Chicken, was ein Manaker beaspert. So, was heißt ein Chicken Manaker beaspert? Was der Bescheid ist, der Rebbeinu Shalom said, was?
Yid Gimel.
Yid Gimel?
Samachai, Yid Gimel.
Samachai?
Samachai, the last stick.
Samachai.
Eine dumme Rube.
Is that because Mashami?
Yeah.
In the bottom? Feel ein Yisrael is a mitzvah von Eile Ma'at.
I feel ein Yisrael is a mitzvah man. So the Russen sagt, over there he talks about that a man, the Eker von der Tachlis von der ganzen Sache, that the person should get to the beginner, Shlois Hanigoi. Okay. Okay. Here, the Russen was so far from the Goy, it's a tanzen of Shlois Hanigoi. What am I supposed to do? The Russen goes Shlois Hanigoi. Look to do as I. Aval Yisroel ani praile maat, kepitchet Hanigoi, Shmanaka Bashma. Also wie a Hanigoi, it's just, it's meant as a brekelach. The boy is Shloim. This the Torah the Rebbe talks about, Ba'aftu Re'achu, Kemoichu, Ani Hashem. Look to do as I. Noch Abshat is, du Baracher, a viele ein Yisroel is a mitzvah von Eile maat, kepitchet Hanigoi, Shmanaka Bashma. Ani Mitzafel Chazugel. Even if a Yid only does, Mamish, a mitzvah do, a mitzvah da, und der Rabbeinu Shloim gathers it zusammen. Vanoichi avdem beheim die Brelaik so, and imati avdem beim Moinen Boilen. Wo ist? Finished.
Sheneme and the Pedal, the Hanshi. Es don't have the pussy that was erstellt. So das was.
Vanoichi avdem beheim die Brelaik so. Die bei dir steht anders?
That's the next. Und gehen noch zu der
Oh ja, die letzte. Ich bin schon gegangen zu der nächsten
The
Schritt.
next was beschaut the next Tag, was Hash Mishab Mufuna. And he was Shiros. And the Mirova Mag Xu von Achi Abdam and the Relaxu. And you might have them on one by
So, vier duos, at die kickste 65. Im Yoim Rudam. 65, der letzte Stück. Wo haben sie kein? Sie sieren bedacht, dass Panusa Bube Geisset. Wie kann Panusa ist Burach Latoiwe, Kedailes Karabal, da ist Daf, Daiker Hashem ist Burach. Aber Afaf, die kein Kusche, Lille, Skara, Kik war nis Eisi Moi, wann ich ruck mit Teure Mrs. Moi. I'm lost. I know the purpose is for this. But my ask Archi Lusha Vel Hashem, how am I going to get back? זה מה ששם דובראחר. אפילו ein Yisroel לא יעשה מצווה לפון האלה מעט כפיצ'ת הנגוילם. שמנקר באשנה, אני מצרף על חשבון גודל. So the Rebbeinu Shalom saying, in order to be freilich, die bist da Yid, and get to Hoidua for the Heilig von der Arachnius, you don't have to be great. Harai mevia luni chiva, hagina al kol anal. Loimer, כי אף על פי keinem Atu hi kemoi shehi. Gam Atu tuchelushe v'm koim kushe nechlade tu lacht of toiv. Bechol yoim v'yoim beliskes l'chayolom. Ki afili Yisroel ein oisem mitzvahs elem ma'at kepitchet anegoylem. In the mitzvahs what it is, the mitzvahs that a person is accomplishing, a brekelech. Gam et sarf l'cheshem gudel kanal. So if a person realizes that even though tut nicht, was man darf. Auf wie kann. Is wie sucht in der nächste Stickel.
Beside the next sticker. Look at the next sticker, you see? This is why he's Madame and the Tarnagoyla was standing in the muck and the garbage in the chazarai and we're groveling on some brekelig, crumbs. Trying to chop a crumb in the garbage.
His matzav is ba'ashpa.
We're in the dumps.
Yeah, we are in the dumps.
We're finally upset. We're pecking at upset. We're
And
pecking for a
pecking
little
there.
brekelig.
Dus bij mij is een gur chushev. And that's enough to give us. Maar zo kennen onkemen te halen wij doen. Met onkemen te halen die ze
Wow.
De gamme shama te yuchel nakel ba'ashpe. In the ashpe.
Says we're trying to go in them. We're a bunch of chickens. Zeiste, for them up with this gelernt of Thanksgiving, Rav Hershel. We're the turkeys. We're the turkey princes. This is the turkey prince. The Rebbe's mice. We're the turkey prince. We're pecking. We're pecking.
Showed the turkey that he could also go to the Piru.
Ah.
He could also go to that summers. He could also have the. That's how he became the Chacham.
It's overgebot from them, from under the table.
I used that today.
Huh?
I used the turkey. Today's the day. The
That's what I'm saying. That's why we're learning this today. The person didn't even chaf when he's learning the Tanagoy. The Tamil get chaf.
The andere Nikita, that you don't have to become old chicken.
Less shows.
Yeah.